Are you thinking about hiring freelancers remotely? Over the next few minutes, I'm going to tell you exactly where to find them, how to choose the right person, and how to hire them so that you can grow your online business. More businesses are hiring freelancers than ever before because they're realizing that they save a ton of money. When you're hiring employees, there's a much larger overhead and there's much higher risk because you're obligated to pay them whether you have work for them or not. As a small business, as a startup, you'll have a much easier time scaling your business when you're building a larger freelancer workforce. I've had experience hiring freelancers as a business and working as a freelancer myself. So I can offer you both perspectives because it's important that you understand where a freelancer is coming from to have a higher chance of success when hiring them. And this video isn't going to be focused on why you should hire freelancers because you've already likely made that decision. That's why you clicked on the video. That's all about how to hire them, right? So let's talk about how to hire them. What options do you have for finding freelancers and hiring them in 2021? There are freelancer platforms like Upwork and Fiverr that have exploded in the last decade because it's very easy to jump on your computer now and post a job and find somebody to work with. Working remotely and working through the internet has become much more efficient. Upwork alone has 12 million freelancers in their community. So it just goes to show how much that has grown in the last few years. Because of how many freelancers are now online on platforms like this, it's much easier to find freelancers than it ever used to be. Of course, you can ask around from people you know and get referrals, and that always is a great strategy, but often and sometimes can take longer, or you just don't know anyone to ask, or you try to ask and nobody has referrals for you. But a surefire way to find a quality freelancer is to go to a platform like Upwork or Fiverr. I've only ever used Upwork and Fiverr to hire freelancers myself, and as I've worked as a freelancer, I've only used those platforms. And so I can't speak on other platforms. There are other platforms out there that are similar, but I can't speak on those. Upwork and Fiverr are two of the largest and the most worth your time. So Upwork is really best for hiring people that you want to work with long term. You're able to pay them hourly if you want to. You can communicate with them a little easier. It's easier to get to know their real name, whereas Fiverr has more of a gate behind who the person actually is. Communication's a little more difficult, and it's very project and gig based. You're not hiring people long term or on hourly contracts with Fiverr. So if you just want a quick logo design done or a voiceover done or something, Fiverr is a great place to go. Upwork is a great place to build an actual freelancer team of people you want to work with ongoing. Now, I do use Fiverr for some recurring work, like thumbnails for YouTube videos, just because it was more cost effective and I found somebody I liked. But there is more administrative time with Fiverr because you have to keep making new orders every time you assign the freelancer a new task, whereas Upwork's much different in that way. But I'll cover more about the differences between Upwork and Fiverr in another video, so I won't go too much into detail on that. But I just wanted to kind of give an overview so that you know what platforms are out there that you can potentially choose to find the freelancer that you need. Now you can search LinkedIn or other job post sites to find freelancers, but you're going to have a much easier time sticking with something like Upwork. Not many freelancers tend to hang out on LinkedIn. They ought to if they want to connect with business owners and find high quality clients. But I found that many of them just spend most of their time on Upwork because that's where they're finding all their work. They're finding plenty of clients through something like Upwork, so they don't bother spending time on LinkedIn. So you're going to struggle to find somebody there. Now, I've used Upwork as a freelancer and as a business hiring freelancers again, so I know the ins and outs of how it works on both sides. And it's important that you understand both sides if you want to have success in hiring freelancers. So when you've decided that you need to hire a freelancer and you've chosen a platform, what are the next steps to find the right person? Let's assume you've chosen Upwork, since that is one of the most popular ones for building a freelancer team, and it's the one I'm familiar with. Let's just go off that, what it looks like if you've chosen Upwork. Now, the process itself will look very similar in other platforms, but the specifics will be slightly different. So first, you need to create an Upwork account, and you need to link your bank account to it. Now, a little hack to save you admin time is that when you're creating a contract with a freelancer, that if you're paying them a flat rate per week or something, set up an hourly contract and not a flat rate contract, because then you can leave it up to the freelancer to bill the amount of hours that equal that flat rate, and you have no admin time on a weekly basis on your end. You can always check in and make sure, if they're not doing the work that they've promised to do for that flat rate, you can always dispute the hours, and you can block them. So you don't have to worry that they're going to take advantage of you, but it will save you admin time and having to go in and set up project after project. Now, as a freelancer, when I'm in that situation, I charge $100 an hour because it's very easy math. So if I'm charging a client $500 a week, then I manually will bill them 5 hours a week, regardless of how many hours I actually put in. And it just makes the contract more simple. And with an hourly contract, you're able to have more flexibility in pausing that contract and adjusting it as needed. But in another video, we'll get into more details of hourly versus flat rate contracts and so forth. That was just a quick tip there when you are hiring a freelancer. Step 2 is to create a job post. And I'll do another video where I actually walk you through each little step, showing you Upwork itself and getting into the details of how to do that. But create a job post, provide enough detail in that job post on what you're looking for, who you're looking for. In order to attract the best freelancers, don't just write a sentence or two, or it's going to look like a scam. As a freelancer myself, I just look over those. Now, if there's a freelancer that is desperate for jobs, they're going to apply to those ones anyways. When you have an expert freelancer, they're going to gloss right over job posts that only have a sentence or two in it, because it seems like a scam. It seems like a waste of time. It seems like the client didn't really care about who they're trying to find or what they're trying to do. So definitely have a nice, thorough, several paragraph description that really outlines what you're looking for and who you're looking for and what skills you need. Now, with the job post, you can set certain parameters for what skills you're looking for as well that help Upwork to place your job post in front of the right freelancers. And you can also set a budget and rates that you're looking for and so forth. Then after you create the job post, publish it and invite freelancers to apply to that job. And Upwork provides a very easy way to invite freelancers. They'll actually suggest to you certain ones you can choose, or you can just search and invite ones that you like. Or you don't have to invite any, and you'll still get freelancers that will apply to your job. Then once the job post is live, the freelancers will start submitting proposals, whether you invite people or not. And you'll be able to then go through those proposals, you might want to wait at least a day for enough to come in, then start shortlisting the ones you really like and get rid of ones that definitely do not fit what you're looking for. And then once you've shortlisted and once you feel like you have a solid list of a few freelancers that seem to really fit what you're looking for, then make the job post private so that you don't continue to have proposals coming in, flooding your inbox. Then interview your top choices through a video call or an audio call. And it's important that you see this interview as different from an employee interview, because the freelancer is vetting you as much as you're vetting them. You're not hiring an employee who's desperate for a job. You're partnering with a freelancer who owns his or her own business, and they are also trying to find the best kind of client to work with. So they also have criteria as far as who they're looking for in a client. So make sure that you don't come in with too much pride that you have all the power, or you're going to end up in situations you don't want to be in. If you want to work with an expert freelancer who is really going to help grow your business and offer a lot of value to you, you want to make sure that you treat them as an equal, that you're a business owner and so are they. So see them as that. Now, some freelancers struggle to see themselves as business owners, so it's harder for you to see them that way. But make sure that you always go into every interview seeing them as a business owner and seeing them as an equal in that way. That they also have a business they're running and growing and trying to manage. And you're really trying to form a real business partnership. And so that freelancer is vetting you and you're vetting them, and you're having questions going back and forth. And that's how you need to approach it. I tend to avoid, as a freelancer myself, I tend to avoid job posts because some job posts, they're worded as if they're looking for an employee. And the way that it's worded, you can tell that the business or the business owner, that they're going to, from the get-go, they're going to see the freelancer as one of their employees. So I don't even apply to those jobs. I make sure that I only apply to jobs where it seems as if they are looking for a business partner to come in and collaborate with them. So just know that if you want again, this is if you're wanting expert freelancers. If you're wanting desperate freelancers, they'll apply to anything. But if you're wanting the true experts that's going to really help bring good results to your business, make sure that you word your job post appropriately, where it doesn't sound like you're looking for an employee, that you're looking for somebody to collaborate and partner with, and make sure that in your interview that you're speaking to the freelancer and seeing them as a real business owner. Then step 6 is to make your choice on whether, once you feel like you've found a freelancer that has the skills and the experience that makes you comfortable and just what you feel right about, go ahead and make your choice. You're not going to have perfect data that will prove to you on whether this freelancer will be worth it. Even if they have a certain, a good resume and experience, ultimately you're going off your gut feeling of whether you feel right about the person. If you have any uneasiness about them, then you need to explore that. Now, at the end of the day, don't worry if you get into a bad situation. Don't make any long-term commitments or contracts. I've never formed any I work 1 week at a time with the freelancers I hire. And as a freelancer myself, I work with my clients a week at a time. Sometimes it stretches 2 weeks depending on there being certain projects that we have to finish. But for the most part, there's no long-term commitment. So if it ends up not working out or you have other priorities that come up, you can bail out of that contract. And yeah, you're not committing yourself long-term. Then go ahead and hire them. Once you've made your choice that you feel right about, hire them. Upwork has an easy tool for hiring and setting up the contract. And again, in another video, I'll actually show you that. And in another video, I'll discuss the pros and cons of flat rate versus hourly contracts. But just for now, go ahead and hire them. That's the step. And make sure that before you hire them as well, that you've set up very clear expectations for what you're hiring them to do. What is the deliverable on a weekly and monthly basis? What are the expectations? A good freelancer will also make sure that they understand from you what your expectations are. And so make sure that's all very clear before they start billing time, that you're very, very clear with one another on what they're supposed to do and what your role is, because often there's also things that you and your team have to do for the project to be a success. Very rarely is it totally up to the freelancer alone to accomplish the result that they're helping to accomplish in your business. So make sure that you understand clearly what your responsibility and role is for the project to be a success. Overall, it's worth it to build up a freelancer team, especially if you're a small business or startup. You have no obligation to pay them if you don't have work for them. But that is an overview of the process of how to find freelancers, where to find them, and how to hire them. And again, in other videos, I will get into more details of certain specifics throughout that hiring process and in the aspect of how to manage a freelancer team. So stay tuned for that. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already, so that you'll be the first to receive notifications of those other videos. And just know that you're on the right track. Just by watching this video, you're already going to have more success going into the process of hiring a freelancer. I will see you in the next video.